It was December 17th, 2005. I was on Highway 41 going north, and I started to turn towards the right, to veer towards the right for the exit on College Avenue. Traffic stopped and instantaneously was rear-ended by a driver who had come onto 41 from Prospect and was going about 40 miles an hour is what he thought he was driving at that time. I could feel immediately back pain. I could just feel it moving up from the waist level all the way up the back. The other driver told me that where he was insured, and I found out that he only had liability amount of $25,000. And I'm thinking to myself, that could be used up pretty quickly in the scenario. I tried going back to work, but riding in a car or driving in a car is even the worst of the two scenarios. It increases the back pain immensely. Sometimes there's this feeling that this can't possibly be happening to me, a denial type of thing, that it always happens to somebody else. And then you come to the realization that this really has happened to me, and I have to face this. It was further down the line when I started thinking to myself that I've got to look for somebody to help me with this. But I was getting letters from personal injury attorneys. I was getting telephone calls, personal telephone calls from some of these people. And some of the things that were being said by some of these people really started making me feel uncomfortable. I myself have turned off by some of the advertising that I see where they're proclaiming the amount of dollars that they've been able to get their client. That was not what I was looking for. I found it interesting in the different law firms, and I believe I talked with 5 or 6. And I did ask in the course of those conversations that I'd really like to talk to somebody, an individual that's had the accident, that has experienced what I'm going to be experiencing, and what was it like working with this law firm. And I found that one of the firms had to go back to the office and say to their supervisor, can I do this? Can I give him a name of somebody that we've worked with? And that firm called me back and said, our record stands for itself. A couple of them said for confidentiality reasons that, hey, we can't go there. Herrling Clark was the only law firm that would grant my request. The thought that it could go ahead was immediate, that we would be able to do this. It was just making sure that the person that they thought that would be good to help me would feel comfortable in speaking with me. And so it didn't take very long, and I was talking with this other individual. So what I saw in the initial interview really just continued through the whole experience, through the meetings that we had, through being guided through different scenarios. I did go through the deposition process, and a little nerve-wracking, but again, Attorney Claypool was there. He was open and honest with me. He guided me through that beautifully. I've been told by John Claypool already, well, I'm just doing my job. And yet, and maybe my preconceived notion of what it was going to be like to relate to an attorney in a situation like this was probably driven by what I've seen on TV. Since going through the scenario with Attorney Claypool with the accident, my wife and I have worked with Attorney Greg Curtis on some estate planning. And the same scenarios, the same feelings for us as individuals came through very quickly. I saw what I saw with those two individuals. I saw what the ancillary people were like, the secretaries, the paralegals, the receptionists. And the spirit, this feeling seemed to be there for all of them. They must be a good employer for what I see as the employees responding so positively to the clients that they work with. There's got to be something good going on there. They're good people who do a good job. Out of the 5 or 6 that I saw, what I was looking for, I really just saw in Herrling Clark.